It is Wednesday, October 29th, and I have the privilege of being joined by my friend Pete. Pete, wie geht es dir?
Ja, es geht mir gut. Manchmal besser, manchmal nicht so gut. Which is sometimes better and sometimes not so great.
Okay.
Which is the nature of this beast. But as always, it's good to be with you on a late Wednesday morning. I had my first text message this morning from my cousin Alice at 7:30 or something, commenting on today's episode. So she wins the award, I think, for first 8:20.
Early bird.
Early bird commenter. I know she's an early bird in general, and she's hanging around with her granddaughter, who I've seen. Babies are pretty beautiful, and her granddaughter is arguably the most beautiful baby I've ever seen in my life. That's how handsome this young girl is. So she's getting a lot of joy out of that. And she sent a nice photo of her this morning. So that was a nice thing to get up to.
Yes. Any health changes or new challenges or new adaptations to deal with the challenges?
Well, yeah, I guess a few things. I'm going to start with for anybody who's ever been to Florence, Italy. There is a museum there, the Galleria della Accademia di Firenze, I think it's called, that houses the David, the famous Michelangelo statue. But if you haven't been there, it has some other things in that museum. 4 of which are called the Quattro Prigioni, the 4 prisoners, and they are, I don't know, 12 or 14 foot tall by 6 or 7 feet wide blocks of granite that are unfinished statues by Michelangelo. He used to practice on things all the time, and they're incredible because they are basically, very similar to the David, but they are half carved statues, and the reason they're called the 4 prisoners is when you see them, it looks like they're trying to break out of the marble, and it's you can take a look at some photos online, but it doesn't quite do it justice. It is as cool as seeing the David. The 4 prisoners, which I saw 40 years ago, still stand out in my mind. It's just incredible. It's like half men like trying to bust out of this big slab of granite. And you may be wondering why the hell am I talking about this?
I think I know where you're going. Yeah.
ALS is the opposite of this. I feel like I am slowly going into the granite as I lose some ability. So what's been happening recently? I mean, I wear a brace on my left wrist full time now because I just have no strength in my wrist at all. I wear my leg braces even in the house, basically whenever I am going to be ambulating.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite unsteady. I have not fallen down yet. I have been adequately forewarned that is something to avoid at all costs, so I'm quite careful. I've got a chairlift installed in my house to get me up and down the stairs. So when you see those commercials, if you're flipping through the channels at, 1:00 in the morning, and you see the advertisement for some guy on his chairlift, and they're advertising chairlifts, no more mocking those ads. It's because I'm on one of them.
Yeah.
it may be perceptible at this point that my voice is getting a little softer and a little bit weaker, which I think is a function of a weakening diaphragm. So my breathing is, affected. If I lie flat on my back, you would see me visibly, gasping for breath overstates it, but working very hard to breathe. That is just a function of a weakening diaphragm. And when you're just the physics of it, if you're lying flat on your back, your diaphragm has to push and pull with much more force in order to inflate and deflate your lungs. And so I'm at a stage where if I lie on the floor, it takes me 5 or 7 or 8 minutes to kind of acclimate, and then I will sort of settle down. But it's rare that I'm lying down on the floor. But when I lie into bed, I use my BiPAP device, which is a breathing device that and has some straps. So you sort of put it on almost like a baseball hat, and it sticks into your nose, and it just blows air to fill your lungs and helps you exhale. There's no oxygen in it; it's just taking air from the room, but it makes it easier to breathe.
Right.
And sort of less. It takes less effort for me to fill my lungs because I got some assistance doing that. What other good news do I have? There's something weird going on with my tongue, which is also a thing. I don't
like
know
a
how
muscular thing, or
well, I think I have these fasciculations, these twitches are going on in my tongue. Though I don't feel them, but if I stick my tongue out and you look at my tongue, you can see them. And it's like the back of my tongue is flattening out, and it feels like it's against my back molar. So when I'm speaking, it's almost like I've got a little lisp or something.
Yeah,
I definitely perceive it. I don't know if you can hear it when I'm talking, but like I'm talking with a couple of marbles in my mouth or something. It's, so that is bumming me out.
Yeah.
And back to my 4 prisoners metaphor. I'm just sort of slowly being encased,
Petrified.
It is, literally and figuratively. It's frightening, and it's mostly just saddening.
Yeah.
I'm not super scared necessarily, but I have anxiety about where it's headed. So trying to manage that effectively, and certainly doing this podcast every Wednesday gets me gets me motivated and fired up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that kind of top to bottom, that kind of that sort of covers it. My right hand is now, I'm noticing there is sort of I can't straighten my fingers or anything anymore. So all of a sudden I'm having trouble like pushing a button or simple stuff. I can't even really peck around on a typewriter, on the keyboard anymore. I need a little poker thing to do it. So, things are not like things weren't real before, but all of a sudden they're getting real.
Yeah. Seems like there's always more real to get, unfortunately.
Yeah. So this is not, I don't mean this to make people sad or anything else, more just one of the points of this podcast is to document the journey a little bit and obviously talk about other stuff, but we wouldn't be doing it in the absence of my health situation. And I'm happy to share the information, and I'm happy to raise awareness about, the disease and talk about, talk about stuff that people don't talk about, and perhaps men don't talk about very much either.
Yeah.
But so here we are.
Yeah. Your power chair, do they give you like updates as to the fulfillment and the manufacture of it? Is it made in the States? Is it imported?
I think it's a Swedish company, but that it's manufactured in the United States.
Wow.
And actually, my care team at MGH had contacted me yesterday on a couple of things, and included a question of do you have any update on the chair status?
Mm.
Because they, like there's a bunch of different, uh, entities that are involved in this thing.
Providers.
So
Right.
yeah, so they basically write the prescription for the chair, which comes after. So I got fitted for the chair at Spalding Rehab. They do all the stuff they need to do. I think they get the paperwork together. Obviously, you need to write a big justification for insurance purposes and all that stuff. And then they send that to the care team. The care team writes the prescription. And I think that most of the time that it takes is around the bureaucracy of insurance.
Yeah.
As opposed to, because I think the chairs are like if you're getting a Ford F-150, like the chassis is the chassis kind of thing, but they kind of customize, the seating and the, like the neck holder and what type of neck holder you want, how much support you need in your neck and head to fit, what side the controls are on. There's some customization going on, but I think that is done pretty quickly, which is a long-winded way of saying they were asking me the status. I'm not exactly sure, and I'm not making phone calls every day to see where my chair is because I'm not super excited necessarily about.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it more like, are you mostly dreading it? Are you looking forward to it all, or is it a negative, a positive, or a neutral?
I think I think it will be a positive in a lot of ways. If for nothing else, it's like you're sort of like in a really high end custom fitted lazy boy. So you can be in it for many hours a day and change your position. And, it raises vertically so you can be at a cocktail party or something. And not that I'm planning on being at a lot of cocktail parties, but it's got, you could go to a bar, you could sit at a high top table. Ray's New Garden would be an obvious place, right?
Perfect place, yeah.
It's more like, okay, well, this chair is going to weigh 350 or 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the jazzy ultralight carbon fiber,
these pickup
portable chair that you've seen. So, okay, well, that means you need to get a lift or a ramp into your house. So you start thinking about a ramp. So first of all, the code is a foot of ramp for every inch of elevation change. So you see my house, I don't know, there's 3 feet of elevation change maybe. So that's a 36-foot ramp.
Yeah.
No big deals. Companies that do that, they're not exactly, they don't add to the curb appeal of the look of your home, but who cares?
Right.
But then you start thinking, it's Massachusetts. Guess what happens in Massachusetts start around December?
Yeah.
And
Some
it
snow.
snows. Yeah, like you got to keep those things clear. And I'm like, okay,
that thing.
That's not a great idea. So I can put a lift in my garage by the stairwell that, you just sort of ride the thing on and the lift takes you up to the next level and you're in.
Got it.
So that's doable, but we got to get that taken care of.
Yeah.
And then you got to get a vehicle. So part of it is like, okay, the chair shows up. I'm going to need like it's a whole downstream set of, things to deal with.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know. I'm not pushing it to rush them, but it's in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you're using some other, technology is kind of coming in to help you keep communicating and, consuming information and doing things like that. Anything to share on that front?
Yeah, a couple things. So the new, this was 3 or 4 months ago, Apple iOS rolled out some new accessibility features, which are quite good. One of them is called voice control, where you can do anything that you would do with your fingers swiping around on an iPad or your phone or on a laptop or desktop to control the mouse and control text input, right? So lots of people use the little microphone when you're sending a text to record that.
Right. But you got to push the microphone button in the first place. Yeah.
Right. So this is similar, except you can switch between apps. You can scroll right, you can scroll left. I've only scratched the surface. There's a whole
Yeah, is there like a lexicon of like
Yeah,
phrases,
I was going to
special
say a
phrases?
vocabulary.
Yeah.
Lexicon is the better term. There's a whole lexicon of, you know, I've got like 6 pages of, uh, commands or
Yeah.
ways to
You got your
control.
cheat sheet. Yeah.
Yeah. But when in doubt, you can just say show grid, and it's going to put a grid on the screen.
Like
And
ABC 1, 2, 3 kind
yeah,
of grid.
it'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you can tell it to do it. You can. The default is 6.
Okay.
And let's say the thing you want to click is in grid 3, but it's overlaps with grid 4.
Okay. Yeah.
So you'd say show grid. You'd say tap 3, and then the box 3 now turns into 6.
Okay.
And so you can
Okay.
narrow it
You're
down.
kinda
And
like
then
enhance. So you're like you're zooming
yeah,
in.
it's like zooming in. And when
Yeah.
the thing you want to tap is in a number, you just say tap 6, and it'll click that thing. So that is
That's really cool. And that's on iOS. It's also on the laptop.
yeah. So it's on the Mac operating system
All the Apple
and iOS.
ecosystem.
Yeah. So that's really helpful. I'm getting quite good at that. So like when I read the paper in the morning on my iPad, I have it propped up, and I'll just because I read the like the app version, like
Sure.
it's the real newspaper.
Yeah.
And I'll just say swipe left, and it'll go to the next page.
Wow.
And or zoom in, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is very helpful.
What's your morning paper of choice?
Well, Globe, Journal, Times,
Boston
Washington
Globe,
Post.
Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post. Got it. So the big four.
The big four.
Yeah.
Although the Washington Post is being degraded almost on a daily basis because Bezos is pissing a lot of people off, and some of their really top-notch reporters have been jumping ship. So I did the 3 months for $4 thing just to see. I'm not sure I'm going to commit to them just as out of principle.
Yeah.
The other thing that iOS has done is pretty cool. Is you can set it up so there's there obviously on an iPhone there are all these little buttons that you need to push on the side and everything. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the thumb strength even
to pay or something like that,
or double click them. Never mind single click, the double clicks. And so there's basically a round dot that's on your screen at all times.
Okay.
Which when you just touch that dot, it gives you a range of commands. And then there's a sub menu that gives you a broader range of commands. And you can customize,
define like macros,
what they are
like that. Yeah.
So like for Apple Pay, for example, I just have to push the thing. I don't have to double click on the side. And like to switch apps, like to swipe up and then swipe left to go to the other app, I can just push a button and then push the app switcher button.
Nice.
And it does that, and I can pick what I want to pick. So
has most of that stuff sort of been out of the box, or have you needed to customize or add your own kind of custom?
I've customized it just because it depends what you do. It's really just what are your go-to things,
most common,
and you want the most common go-tos on the first layer, and then like the restart function, I've got down a couple layers because there's not very often you restart. But
got it. Yeah.
So that's cool. The other thing that I haven't really used yet, but I've prepared for, is there's a company called 11 Labs that is a commercial AI voice company. So like if you're if you're an author and you want to have your book put into Audible form, you can pick a voice from this company, or you could use your own voice. But
you can train a model, I think, with your own voice, or use one of the pre-trained ones.
Pre-trained voice.
Yeah.
I think it can be used for ill as well, but
no doubt.
But it's an expensive piece of software. I don't know what it retails for, $1,000 or something like that. But they give it away for free to ALS patients, and to get like the maximum, the highest quality of voice reproduction, what they have you do is just talk for half an hour, like record your voice for half an hour.
Just talking about anything or reading?
Talking about anything.
Okay.
And so what I did for, like a week is I would just come home every day and just
feed it,
describe my day for 5 or 10 minutes until I got a half an hour in there.
Yeah.
And then you upload your voice. They do have some enhanced security that it's actually you.
Right. Sure.
In terms of doing all this, and they run it through their magic machine, and literally within like 24 hours, you've got your voice. And it's have I demoed this for you?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
You showed me, I don't know, like a month or two ago, but you pasted, you like copied a news article, pasted it in, and
had
it basically sounded like Pete reading the news.
It really did, right? It was incredible.
It was incredible, for sure. And shout out to 11 Labs for like providing this to folks with ALS. I think that's amazing.
And I am I'm very glad that I did it, because if I had to do it now, I'd be recording a version of my voice that isn't 100%
not the OG Pete. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I would go back if I was going to redo it is it will reproduce the style of you. There are some controls to change how
like
the
emotion
work
or
stuff a little bit, but if you record in a monotone, it's going to come out a little monotone.
Sure.
If you record with lots of enthusiasm, I wish I had had a little more enthusiasm, because that would have reflected the real me a little better.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm capable of like carrying on about something and getting all fired up about nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I can't say I'm looking forward to using that.
Yeah.
But I am. It gives me some peace to know that I have the ability to, if and when things get there.
Yeah. This week's episode went a bit long, so we're going to make it a two-parter. This concludes part 1, and please come back next week for part 2. If you have comments or questions for Pete and me, you can email us at 2224peter@gmail.com. If you'd like to get involved with or donate to ALS causes, check out ALS One at alsone.org. Thank you for listening.